it's MK and I am here with day 1 of Baby Got Scraps. So I am going to go ahead and jump into my first pocket page that I have going on here. I have already done a 2-page layout for this, but I'm not going to go back through and try to matchy all those papers. I have a couple pockets here that either have nothing in them, but I did put a pocket card inside one just because that matched the collection that I used for the double page way back in the day. And then I also have two 4x4 photos that need to be filled. I have a title that was picked out from the Simple Stories Color Vibes Wood Grain alphas. I have this pre-made embellishment that I pulled from my Dinosaur collection. I also went through my Dino bin and not Dinosaur collection, but bin, and pulled out some dinosaurs from all over the place. You guys, I've got dino skulls. I've got paper that I used a die to cut it out, I believe. I think the other dinosaur came from Doodlebug. I mean, you guys, I have no idea. Just random stuff. I also pulled out these vellum papers from Stampin' Up! From a million years ago because I used it in my pre-made embellishment. So I wanted to bring in some sort of vellum, even though it's not the same. It'll still have that vellum going throughout my layout. I also brought in this baby collection puffy stickers. Again, not the collection that I used for the double page, but I brought that in because I just loved that puffy that said, I love that face, or I love your face. So I'm going to bring that in as well. And then from Vicki Boutin's Storyteller, I have the 6x8 papers that are not true 6x8. I'm just saying, yeah, they're a slight off. Anyways, and then the scraps that I picked out. So I have 2 wood grains from Stampin' Up. This is a pre-made piece of paper that I made I don't know when. This is also from Stampin' Up. I loved that tropical collection. And then this piece, I'm sorry, you guys, I don't know what it is. It came in a kit from Not Just for Boys. And yeah, I have no idea what it is. I apologize. I cut the branding strip off and apparently wasn't usable, so I didn't keep it. All right, so I'm going to pull out all of my photos and things from my pockets and then figure out how I'm going to make my papers because I don't have a 12x12, plus I have to do both sides. So what I like to do for my pocket pages is I like to have my pretty paper at 4x6 or whatever size pocket I'm doing. These ones are 4x6 and 3x4s. And then trim my photos down accordingly. And what I mean by accordingly is sometimes I trim 1/8 of an inch off 2 sides. So I only have a teeny tiny little 1/16 inch of a border showing around and have that nice little frame. Sometimes I trim off 1/4 of an inch on 2 sides and I have an 1/8 inch frame. I usually don't go any bigger than that unless I'm trying to cut things out of a photo, right? Normally I don't. I can usually embellish it if I don't want it shown. So that's what I'm doing is I'm trimming out my papers. So on one side, I'm going to have that mystery paper along with a pocket card that I'm going to be creating. I got rid of the pocket card that was in there because I just don't have the greens and things to match or anything like that. And like I said, this goes in between a 2-page layout and I'm not really worried on whether or not it's matchy, to be honest. And then I'm working on the other side. So I'm not going to flip my photos over. I think that's very confusing for me. What I'm doing is I'm just making what I need for the other pockets. And I forgot that the pocket card that is in the center of this side has a photo on the back, and I totally forgot to make a photo mat for that. So when I go to work on the actual pages after I'm done doing all this cutting, I do realize that, and what I end up doing is taking one of the brown give me a second, photo mats from the other side on my vertical photos and putting that over there and then using a wood grain because I'm just going to have the wood grain go all the way up to the mixed media paper. So it all works out in the end. You don't really see the brown on that bottom photo, or I think it's it's the bottom photo. You don't really see that brown except for, like I said, a small little border around the bottom of the photo. That's it. And it's just to frame it in. I mean, right now I went off camera, I trimmed down my photos, I inked the edges of all of my mystery papers, and then I glued my photos down, and already it looks better. I mean, it's got a teeny tiny little sliver around it, but to me, it looks finished now, and I don't know what it is about that. It just looks finished. So here's where I took that brown piece of paper from the upper photo on the back side of the layout that I'm working on now. And what I'm doing is I'm inking the edges because my mixed media paper, sorry, I forgot what it was. My mixed media paper is a little bit smaller, and I do like inking the edges because if you do get it just a hair crooked, then you don't have whatever backing that paper was kind of looking weird, and then you don't have to try to trim it off either, because then if you trim it off, you know, you might get a wonky cut or something like that, and then it's just going to bug you for life. Well, at least for me. That's what it does. So inking the edges really does save me from having to do that. It just, can I see it in the end? Probably if I stare real hard and stick my tongue out, that sort of thing. But in all honesty, it's not as obvious as if I didn't ink because of all those bright colors on the other side or whatever might be on the other side of that paper. All right, so now I'm going to work on the layout. Now my embellishment is a little bit bigger than I imagined for my 4x6 pockets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it stick inside the pockets and out of the pockets. And I'm going to use that little egg that it's like an acrylic egg or an epoxy egg or a resin egg. I don't know. It's a really cool sticker, you guys. I have some more too. I love those. Anyways, I'm going to have that egg hold my card in place, so it's not going to shift out. So I'm just sticking it in and seeing how it looks, covering up that upper right or that upper left photo. Just wanted to make sure that it wasn't covering all of it. And then of course I'm going to add the rest of my title, and you can't see it, but I'm going to take my black journal pen. It's a I think it's a Moji pen. That was gifted to me by Janet. She used to have a store near her and access to all the colors. Well, I have brown or black and blue. I would have loved a brown. And I'm happy with both the colors. I don't feel like I'm missing any colors at all. I love those two pens. And they're perfect for journaling. They've not skipped once. They're just amazing pens. And then I outlined around my title, and I feel like that's much better. And I use the word dinosaur as part of my title because my my son didn't want to, well, we took his socks and shoes off so he could go and dig in the dirt to look for dinosaurs, which he didn't. He tried to bury himself because he wanted to be like the dinosaurs. And when I tried to go put his socks back on, and I kept like brushing the sand out from in between his toes, and he was like preoccupied with the sand still, like he really still wanted to go play, but he wanted to know what I was doing too, so he kept looking away but still talking to me. And he's like, stop. And I told him, I said, well, you can't have the sand in your toes. And he goes, dinosaur sand? And I'm like, yes, you can't have dinosaur sand in your sock. And he's all, okay. But he was just so occupied with, you know, like, I want to go play, Mom. It was just hilarious. And then this is the side of him and his big sister playing in the dinosaur sand before. So the other side is us getting ready to leave, and this side is them enjoying themselves. And the 2-page layout is also of them enjoying themselves in the sand. And like I said, Gabriel trying to bury himself as opposed to look for the dinosaurs. It was just great. It really was. He was fabulous. So anyways, for this one here, I am just decorating the top portion. Now, after I did this and after I had all the papers down, I thought, you know what? I should have put this bottom photo up at the top and had the pattern repeating at the bottom, so that way the two photos met in the middle and then the pattern was at the top and the bottom. But I didn't think about it and I just went with it. I'm okay with how it looks. Didn't even give it a second thought of regret later. So here's where I'm adding some more of that vellum, just to you're not going to see it because it's on the other side, but I just wanted to have some more of that vellum within these pocket pages, just so that way it seems cohesive, because I'm putting a menagerie of stuff together, right? I am basically just putting random stuff that has absolutely nothing to do. Well, the dinosaurs do, all that good stuff, yes. But it's a collage. Like, I didn't use this jungle baby collection for any of my dinosaur layouts. I didn't use any of these. Well, actually, no, I think that's Chamel. To be honest, I think that green dinosaur is from the Chamel collection. That, oh, I forgot what it was called, you guys. I can't ever remember the name of that collection. And then the blue flyer guy up there, that is Stampin' Up's one that they came out with. Again, these are all baby-ish. Not the Chamel one, but the Close to My Heart puffies and the fly guy. They all are, you know, like baby related elements and all that stuff. And so I'm bringing them in, not working on, yes, I'm working on my babies. Oh my gosh. Now I'm just confused myself. The leaves came from, oh golly, what is that book called? From JQCrafty. It came from a tropical collection from JQCrafty. And then these die cut dinosaur skulls, I got from a online shop a couple years ago. So yeah, I definitely wanted, you know, I think what I'm thinking here is I wanted to do the dinosaurs because I have a couple kids in here that need to be covered up, but I could only cover up one without putting a sticker right in between my two kids. So I thought, you know what, if I'm going to have one showing, I'm going to have both of them showing. It's okay. You can't see their faces. Plus this is several years old. So it's not like anybody can do, you know, facial recognition software and hunt these kids down that are no longer kids. But what I'm thinking is on the other side of my layout, I have white leaves and colorful dinosaurs, you know, the stone dinosaur. So this one I did opposite. I did the colorful leaves and then the white dinosaurs. So that way it kind of makes sense to me. And then when I realized that this page is going to have a little gap between the photos in it, I'm going to cover up the fact that I used some sort of purple paper on the back. I don't even remember what paper that was, but it's purple on the back, and I didn't notice that until right now. So I went and I grabbed a 2-inch punch, punched out the leftovers of my mixed media paper, which I was grateful that I had that much to punch out. It just worked out beautifully. And then I had a little bit of this wood grain paper left over as well. So I'm going to use it to go up and cover up because I didn't have enough to make it the same size of circle. So I have to kind of adjust to what I already have. And then the circle has to be so down low that it's almost touching Gabriel's elbow in that photo. But I'm okay with that. I just want to cover up that purple because a little bit of it's going to be seen once I put this layout together. I'm going to add my last little leaf that I have that I picked out. It was just, I was being lazy. Clearly, I'm looking for scraps and I don't want to put too much work into it. Realized I forgot to ink my wood grain edge and then just, you know what? It's done. It's over with. It is what it is. I'm going to put it together anyways. But yeah, I just went through my stash and pulled out what I had. And I had these two JQCrafty leaves as well as this one die cut leaf. And that was it. I didn't want to put any more work into this because it's just for scraps. And I love how it turned out. I really did. So here I am just going to go ahead and show you guys what it all looks together. Sometimes it's hard to envision how this is going to overlap that and what it's supposed to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and put it all together and then show you guys what it looks like close up. So I've got the egg, the pocket tucked underneath that egg, so that way it'll stay in there and it won't fall out because of how heavy that egg is. just enough adhesive is touching that page protector. And then there's where I was saying it was going to overlap, because you can see that circle is almost fully in view. So, which means I would have seen that purple on the other side, and I didn't want that. So I love how that looks. I love how it looks all together. I absolutely love how my embellishment on the front, on the first page that I worked on, that says that I put a little explore sticker on. I love how it touches the title card leaf right there. That is something I never planned to do, but I like how it touches it, and it kind of makes it feel like it's spilling out over into that page. So you guys, pocket pages are my favorite. I absolutely love being creative on a little teeny tiny card, even though sometimes I get stuck, and sometimes it's really hard for me to work on such a small surface. But when I look at it as it's a whole page, and I'm just working on a scrapbook page, it comes together so easy. It's just a different change of mind. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me during Baby Got Scraps. I look forward to this month every year. Oh my gosh, I just can't tell you enough how this is my favorite series of the entire year. So anyways, be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along. I've got a list down below. Some of them are new folks that I've never heard of. I'm so excited to go check them out. And I will see you guys all tomorrow for another Baby Got Scraps. Bye.